The global trade landscape is shifting. Protectionist policies are on the rise. The United States, once a champion of free trade, has imposed tariffs on various imports. These tariffs have significant implications for Latin American economies. Many of these economies rely heavily on exports to the United States. The tariffs have created uncertainty and sparked fears of a trade war. The United States has imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports. These tariffs took effect in March 2025. The automotive industry has also been targeted. A 25% tariff on automobiles and parts came into effect in April 2025. These tariffs have sent shockwaves through Latin America. Countries like Brazil and Mexico, major exporters to the United States, are feeling the impact. The steel industry in Latin America is facing a crisis. The United States tariffs on steel imports have exacerbated existing challenges. Latin American steel producers are struggling to compete. They face competition from both the United States and China. The tariffs have made Latin American steel more expensive in the United States market. This has led to a decline in exports. The consequences for Latin American economies are severe. Jobs are being lost. The steel industry is a major employer in many Latin American countries. The closure of steel plants and the decline in production have led to widespread job losses. This has had a ripple effect throughout the economy. It has impacted communities that rely on the steel industry. The situation is particularly dire in countries like Brazil and Mexico. These countries are major steel producers and exporters. They have been hit hard by the United States tariffs. The tariffs have forced some steel plants to close. Others have had to scale back production. This has resulted in thousands of job losses. The economic impact is significant. The crisis in the Latin American steel industry is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. Policy decisions made in one country can have far-reaching consequences. The United States tariffs on steel have had a devastating impact on Latin American economies. They have led to job losses, economic hardship, and uncertainty about the future. The impact of United States tariffs extends far beyond the steel industry. The automotive sector, a crucial driver of many Latin American economies, is also feeling the pain. The tariffs on automobiles and parts have disrupted integrated supply chains. This has increased production costs and reduced the competitiveness of Latin American-made vehicles. The tariffs have added an estimated $4,000 to $10,000 to the cost of each vehicle produced in North America using components from outside the region. This price hike makes it harder for Latin American manufacturers to compete in the United States market. Consumers are also feeling the pinch as the tariffs contribute to higher prices for cars. The economic fallout from these tariffs is significant. Latin American countries are experiencing a slowdown in GDP growth, decreased trade volumes, and heightened uncertainty. This economic instability disproportionately affects export-dependent economies, which rely heavily on trade with the United States. The tariffs have created a ripple effect across various sectors. The increased costs of production in the automotive industry, for example, impact downstream industries such as transportation and logistics. This interconnectedness amplifies the negative consequences of the tariffs, leading to a broader economic downturn. Latin American countries are facing a critical juncture. The United States tariffs have created an economic storm, forcing them to navigate treacherous waters. Their responses to this challenge have been varied, ranging from retaliation to diplomacy, regional cooperation, and market diversification. Some countries have considered retaliatory tariffs on United States goods. However, this approach carries the risk of escalating trade tensions and further harming their economies. Others have opted for a more diplomatic route, engaging in negotiations to seek exemptions or a reduction in tariffs. Regional cooperation has emerged as a key strategy. The Latin American Steel Association, for example, advocates for regionalizing supply chains. By strengthening trade relationships within the region, Latin American countries can reduce their reliance on the United States market and mitigate the impact of the tariffs. Market diversification is another crucial response. Latin American countries are actively exploring alternative export markets, particularly in Asia and Europe. By reducing their dependence on the United States, they aim to cushion the blow of future trade shocks and create a more resilient and diversified economic future. That's all for now. See you in the next video.